everyone, welcome back to our channel. I'm Rachel.
I'm Nikki and we're the Stitch Sisters.
Yes, we are. Now in this video we are doing the third part of our autumn plans. These are the things that we're sewing to add into our autumn wardrobe, and we're telling you all about the fabrics, the patterns and our style inspirations for what we're making.
Yes.
In our previous two videos we have covered coats and jackets, and then in the last video we covered tops and dresses.
That's right. That's right.
That's right. In this one we're going to be talking about bottoms. So
bottoms?
All about bottoms.
We're talking about bottoms?
Yes we are, but specifically skirts and trousers.
Skirts and trousers.
Before you get too excited and think you're on the wrong channel.
I think we've gone off on a tangent all of a sudden.
Already, and we're only on the intro. But before we get into that, if we could just ask you to click on the little red button below and subscribe to our channel if you're interested in hearing more about sewing, about patterns, about DIY, waffle and giggles and bottoms, then that's the place to be.
This is the place to be. So let's talk about skirts and trousers. So I've got a couple of skirts. So I'm going to start with one of them, which I think is probably my favourite. So I've got this 1970s look skirt. I love it. Rachel's not seen these pictures.
I'm looking at the pictures of the first one too.
I'm opening these up. These are my inspiration pictures. I think it's just both of those. Oh, there's this one as well. So there's this. I'm thinking some kind of long line pencil skirt. I'm thinking day wear. I'm thinking separates, but I'm thinking in very chunky cord.
Yes.
So that's what I'm thinking. I've found a pattern. Obviously, I've got a lot of pencil skirt patterns already. So
yes.
I've got the Alberta, I've got the Ariel from Tilly and the buttons, and I love a pencil skirt. So I'm thinking pencil skirt shape, possibly with a little bit more width on it, slightly inline, big pockets, big buttons down it, and I don't care where the buttons come, whether it's down the front or folded to the side, but I found these absolutely gorgeous. That's another one. It's one from Marks and Spencer's, which is what started me off, and that's an A-line one, but I do want them past the knee, so I'm thinking midi length is what I'm thinking. And it was the chunky cord that I fell in love with.
Yes.
I found there's something called the alley skirt, and I'll link that below as well, which is a pattern that I found. I think I could take that and just make it longer, and that would be perfect.
You could, for sure. But also, if you wanted to work with an existing skirt pattern, I think the Erin skirt from Sew Over It could probably be adapted as well.
Okay.
Because you've got buttons down the front, you would just need to widen it slightly at the hem. I think the fit on the waist and the hip is probably good, just slightly at the hem, and then add on those pockets.
Yes.
Is it particularly the Western style pockets that you like, or
I like the
with the flaps?
I like the flaps.
The pointy flap.
Pointy flaps.
That's what I think of as a Western pocket.
Yeah, that's a Western pocket. But I think I'll make a couple. So I'll make different versions. So I'll make fancier ones depending upon what colour fabric I've found. And I have found a few chunky cords. Not a lot. Yes. They don't come in a massive different array of colours.
They don't. They had that one in Fabricland. We were there a couple of weeks ago, but it was bright purple, and as much as I love that colour, it would have been nice if there were a few others.
So the ones I'm going to pop up on the screen, there's one from Like So Amazing, which she's got 2 or 3 colours of, and I like the wine. Yeah. And that's £5 for half a metre.
Like
I do like the wine.
She likes the wine.
My fabrics have got some lovely ones in different colours.
That green is gorgeous. It's sold out, unfortunately, but they do restock quite often.
And they've got a lot of different colours, and that's £13.55 per metre. Yeah. So that's
but for a skirt, you wouldn't need that much, really, would you?
No, you'd a metre and a half probably is what I'm thinking. Fabrics Galore have got some nice ones as well, and I liked this grey, this sort of like cloud grey. Oh yeah. Will match in with my colour palette for the season very nicely. And then my last one was, I found a rust. Rust from Croft Mill, and it's called Oh the Joy Rust. Yes. And it's £10 per metre. Excellent. So I thought those kind of colours is what I'm thinking. Absolutely. So greys, rusts, possibly with a bit of teal blue thrown in as well.
Excellent. Well, I also am planning a cord, well not a cord skirt, I was thinking it's not in my plans that I've decided to share with you today, but in the back of my head I've had making the Pippi Pinafore from Jennifer Lauren again. Yes. And doing that in a cord. Oh right, okay. So I was thinking sort of a rusty colour cord for that, or maybe even that bright purple that I was telling you about. Oh yeah. I've got a picture I'll insert that I shared on Instagram a few weeks back, but I just think for me as autumn wardrobe goals, It's from the 70s, and there's girls wearing pinafores, bright coloured tights, berets, roll necks, and it's just, I love it. And all my colours, orange, green, purple, beautiful. Love it, love it, love it. And I just think that I like to have some days where I look a bit more sophisticated, and then other days where it's just fun. And that would definitely be a fun day look. So maybe we'll both get cord together.
Yay! I love a bit of cord.
Well, why don't I tell you about my plans for a skirt, because it's very, very similar, I think.
Ooh, is it?
So I am planning on making a pleather skirt. So pleather is another big trend, or leather if you can afford it. But for me, or if you're vegan, if you're cheap or you're vegan, then pleather is the way to go. I can't pretend it's for vegan reasons, but it's more for budgetary reasons. But I bought this lovely rust colour, or tan colour. I'd say it's more rust than tan. But I bought this from Minerva in their recent sale. It is lovely. It is slightly stretch, which for, I'm thinking, an A-line skirt, I need that little bit of extra stretch, because it means I can get a much better fit, but still be able to comfortably sit down and bend over when my bottom expands, which it does.
We don't need to hear about your expanding bottom.
Yes, thank you. Because I'm sure lots of our viewers also have expanding bottoms.
We all do.
So that's a safe bet. In terms of inspiration pictures, let me just pop up this one here. This is a leather skirt from Barney's. Yeah, I mean, clearly at £900 that is leather. But it kind of demonstrates what I want to achieve. So I don't necessarily want a little A-line. I'm looking for a slightly longer length. So I love that sort of knee length. I think it would be really, really versatile. So the pattern that I'm going to use to recreate this skirt is the Justine skirt by Ready to Sew. So I just love this from the second that I saw it.
It's a nice one.
Yes, it definitely screams 70s autumn to me. Yeah, which is all of the things I love right now.
Patchwork, suede and pleather.
I know. I mean, hers is awesome with the suede and the pleather. I am just going to do the pleather, but I love the slant pockets on the side. I find that pockets on my hips aren't particularly flattering, but I can get away with that slant that's the smaller pocket that's at the top towards the waist.
They don't add that much bulk because it sits flat on your hips.
That's right. And what I find is sometimes I just have to do a couple of reinforcement stitches to make sure the pocket doesn't stick out too much. But it's all very much doable. I think it adds a nice little bit of detail. I also love the patchwork effect. I'm not going to do it with two fabrics, but I am going to cut my pleather into patchwork parts. Because I just think it's quite shiny and it needs a little bit more interest to break it up, but also all the top stitched seams are going to give it more structure and make it stand up a little bit better. I am going to need to line it, I think, otherwise it's quite thin and it will just ride up all the time, and I want it to be a nice,
it'll give it
weight.
better quality if you do that. Do you think you might make a suede one?
Well, I'll see how this one goes. I've already got this pleather now, but I mean, by all means. Well, suede or cord was what I was thinking in those kind of vibes.
Right, so I've got another skirt because I am separates obsessed. Because I wear a lot of separates, and I've realised that over the last couple of years, and so I need to make more. No more dresses, well, not as many dresses, but more separates. So my next thing is a button-down tweed skirt. So this can be herringbone, it could be Prince of Wales check, it could be tartan, anything like that. I'm grouping them all into the same category, and I would like them textural. I'd like it to be wool based if possible for the fabrics. And my inspiration picture is basically this one here with this. It's a cute little sort of midway between a knee-length skirt and a midi. You've got that asymmetrical shape to it, and it's buttoned to one side, and I just really like the shape. I really think it would be fun with sort of grey neutral checks to kind of play with colour and things like that as well. So I quite like that. There are lots and lots of them on the high street, so that's just one picture, but there are lots and lots. I may stick in some more inspiration pictures on top of when I'm talking. And I have found a pattern which I think is quite good. One of them is the Sutton skirt from Style Arc, which has got buttons down the front, and it's basically an A-line button down the front skirt with a waistband. I can see if I can find a couple of different patterns, but I think it's the kind of thing that if I look through my pattern stash, I've probably got some like A-line skirts, not necessarily.
Well, you could adapt the Ariel to do that.
Yes,
really easily.
I could absolutely. Yeah. Fabrics wise, I've got a couple of fabrics. There's FABWORKS do this Donegal tweed.
Oh, it's one of their new ones.
One of their new ones, and the colours are absolutely gorgeous. Now they are a little bit on the pricier side, but for a skirt, you don't need an awful lot. And I think if I chose wisely for the colour, I think it would just go with everything. So I think it might be an investment that I made.
Yeah, and we have bought loads of fabrics from FABWORKS over the years, and I can't think I don't think I've ever had a bad one. I think they are really good quality.
Yeah,
they're good
really
prices for what they are. They're just really nice quality fabrics. I
also found this one, which is called Country Chic by SEWALICIOUS, and it's a wool blend on their website, and it's £8 for half a metre. But again, it's those kind of like dark chocolatey tones with a little bit of pink through it, which I think almost becomes, because there's not a lot of pattern in it, there is if you look closely, but from a distance you wouldn't see the pattern, so you could wear anything with it. And I just think something like that as a skirt, a straight skirt, or some kind of button down skirt would be really interesting.
Gorgeous. Can't wait to see.
Yes. What's yours?
Mine again is at the other end of the spectrum, and not surprisingly involves more animal prints. Because I love animal print all year round, so when it's in fashion, clearly I'm going to take advantage of just being able to be that animal print lady. So that's my goal for autumn. There goes the animal print lady. So I have bought some, in fact I've got it here to show you. I bought this in the sale from Minerva. It's this lovely silver satin leopard print. Gorgeous. It was reduced to $2.99 in their sale, so an absolute bargain. I bought it in 2 colourways, but I'll get to the other one in a minute. And I've got 2 ideas for this skirt. So I've seen quite a few of what's called slip skirts in various magazines and things. And that's basically, you know, a standard sort of slip nighty type thing, cut on the bias. The way that it hangs, it's sort of very soft. It's not skin tight, but it's fitted, a loose fit, and it kind of kicks out a little bit at the bottom because of the bias cut. So I love that look. But then I started actually looking in detail at leopard print skirt ideas, and I'm inspired by these 2 here. So there's this one, which is a Michael Kors skirt, which is so it's a quite a pencil fit skirt, and then it's got this lovely fishtail peplum at the bottom. So I think that could be really interesting to try and recreate that. The other option is this one from Barney's, which is a wraparound skirt with a ruffle. I bought 2 meters, so I should have enough to make that one, especially if I keep the ruffle on the small side. But yeah, I love both of those options. And what I'm thinking in terms of patterns is that if I wanted to recreate the, they're both by Hand London actually. I wanted to recreate the fishtail skirt, then I could use the Charlotte skirt by Hand London with this fishtail little ruffle hack. Obviously I would make the ruffle longer, and it wouldn't sit quite like that because this is a much thinner fabric. I would also be tempted to do the waist without a proper waistband, but to finish it more like you would finish a slip, so just with some soft elastic.
Anything for an elasticated waist.
I just think it'd be really comfy, and this isn't the sort of skirt where I'd wear anything tucked in. I think I'd wear something over it anyway. So I'd rather go for comfort, I think, and actually feel like I'm wearing a slip.
Lovely. Would you have the peplum all the same length?
Yes, I would. I would make it longer, and I would make it all the same length, just so it is a bit more like my Michael Kors inspiration. For the other one, it's actually a hack that Elisa Lex put on her blog, which is a circle skirt, so no pattern, self-calculated circle skirt with a ruffle. So I think if you look at that picture, obviously the skirt's got a lot more body, but I don't think it would have as much with this because this is a much drapier fabric than a gingham. But I wouldn't want it quite as full as that, so I'd be tempted, instead of doing a full circle, to actually do a 3/4 circle. And try it like that, so it's not got quite as much volume. So I like both of those options. I would love to hear what you think. Should I do the Charlotte or the circle ruffle? So the hem ruffle or the circle ruffle? If you comment and let me know which below, then I would be very grateful.
Yes, very much. Lovely.
That's it for my skirts.
That's it for your skirts. I've got one pair of trousers.
Okay.
Well, I've got some inspiration for it to make a pair of trousers. And
I've just seen the picture.
So I'm obsessed with kind of straight leg trousers that come from the hip and just go straight down. So because I'm tall, I like a long leg. I like quite a wide leg, but I don't want it to be too wide.
That's not a straight leg trouser.
Is it not
that's
a straight
flare.
leg? Really?
Yes, that's definitely a flare. They're both flares. They're wide leg trousers.
They're just wide leg
Sure,
trousers.
yes.
Okay. I'm obsessed with wide leg trousers. But I've got 3 different pictures here of all the things that I love about them. So I like the silhouette that it gives you. I like the fun fabrics. I like that it's fitted still around the waist and around the hips.
That camel one.
And I know.
I love camel and red together.
So it is just gorgeous. So I just need to recreate them. I have bought a pair of wide leg trousers that I love. So I've got a pair of high street ones ready to go, but it's just inspired me to make my own. And I think I could make my own. I think I've definitely got patterns that I could do it in.
You have, in fact, if you want to recreate that whole look, I think that red top is the Anderson blouse wanting to be made.
Oh, is it?
In a red fabric.
Which I've already.
Spotty fabric.
Yes, exactly. Which I've already made.
And then with the white trousers, you've got the toaster sweater.
Yes.
In a camel sweater knit.
Yes. And then the other ones is just tartan with a linden or with a Rolex
and a Storia or
But I'm thinking the Nina Lee Portobello trousers.
Yes.
Is the perfect pattern. Yeah. So I've already got that pattern, and they're not quite so fitted around the hip area.
Yeah. So they're less of a flare and more of a wide leg trouser.
Yes. But again, I have many patterns, so I'm sure that I've got a pair of trousers in amongst my my high street patterns that I can find.
Yes.
So I'm just going to have a look and see what I can find. But I may well make one pair of Portobello trousers, and I may well try a different pattern as well and make a couple of pairs, because I desperately need more trousers in my wardrobe.
Yes. I haven't put any trousers in my plan simply because I'm a bit trousered out. Made 4 pairs for the for the Battle of the Culottes. Yes. And I am sure that all of those are wearable as autumn trousers. Yes. I just need some more autumnal tops to style them up with. Yeah. And once I get my autumn wardrobe done out of the loft, I'll know what I'm working with. But I think that those they would all work. So I'm not worrying about trousers too much for now, because if I do decide that I need trousers, I know I can take any of those culotte patterns, lengthen them, and make trousers.
See, that would be another option, is that I could actually take like the Winslows and make them longer or something like that. So
absolutely.
I could do something
They'd
like
be
that.
really wide.
They'd be really wide. So fabric wise, I found some lovely fabrics. So I found this beautiful Ditto Fabrics black and white Prince of Wales check, which is £15 per metre.
95% wool, 5% cashmere. Now that is a bargain.
Beautiful, and it is gorgeous.
Yeah.
I definitely need some Prince of Wales check ones. Some herringbone, and I think that's from Fabric Godmother. They've got that in a couple of different colours. I think they've got like a red mix, and they've got a chocolate mix and a black mix.
Excellent.
So they're really nice. There's also Minerva. Of course, Minerva have many fabrics, but I liked that dark check again, that because it's still got that tartan feel to it, but it's not like tartan. It's tartan.
She's Scottish.
In my head,
so
that makes
she doesn't want
sense.
tartan.
Yeah,
she grew up with it.
Because people
she
will
wants
be
subtle tartan.
Subtle tartan. Again, I'm back to restitch with their London Cloth Company. Look at that, just beautiful. So it depends how much money I've got. And then this beautiful one.
By the sound of things.
I'll have none by the time I finish, but look at that one.
Wow. Yes, they are gorgeous.
Gorgeous. So if anyone wants to send me 2.5 metres of these fabrics, I would be very welcome. They'd be very welcome in my house, and I would make lovely trousers out of them. That's it for us.
I think that's it for trousers and skirts. And no pressure, but at some point we've got to find the time to sew all this.
When are we going to do that?
We'll see you soon, guys.